following program may contain coarse language, suggestive dialogue, and discussion of violent imagery and sexual situations. It is intended for mature listeners who can tell the difference between facts and opinions.
We create soccer from zero on this episode of the Toonami Faithful Podcast. I am your host, Sketch, and with me I have...
Paul Pascrillo, the founder of ToonamiFaithful.com.
And...
an editorial writer, Laser Kid.
And bringing up the rear.
Streaming Steven, running the stream and making sure everyone sounds good.
Allegedly, another participant will join us later. If you're listening to the stream right now, you may already know who that is. And if you're not, then it'll be a nice surprise.
It's gonna be a mystery.
It's a mystery person.
It's a mystery podcast.
Not exactly a guest. They're, regular, as it were.
I don't
Yeah.
have the power to disguise their voices.
That'd be a neat trick, though.
That would be pretty funny.
Also, I told Kuro she could have the week off. Paul had the week off the other week. She had the week off this week. I'm hoping to take the week off next week. We'll see if that actually happens.
No weeks off for you. Work you to death.
You joke, but it kind of feels that way. But yeah. First order of business. We're already seeing some great promos for Rooster Fighter, and it's not the first promo, but the promo they aired this week. All of the wordplay, my word.
Oh my god.
And they said cock. They said cock, ladies and gentlemen. They're allowed to say cock. My favorite one was cluck around and find out.
Beautiful.
That's so
Yeah.
good. That's so good.
You know, I'm still like a little bit in shock. Like, oh look, Adult Swim series produced by Viz, but it's being streamed somewhere else than HBO Max. I'm still confused by that, but that's all right.
Well, it is a Viz license, but
Yes.
I don't know. Also, somewhat confusing. They are encoring it the same night at 3:30, and it's not. Usually, they indicate if it's a subtitled version, but this time that's not what's listed. So, are they going to be able to play it subtitled? I mean, most people that watch anime on Toonami probably don't care, but it's just kind of odd that they're encoring it and it's not a different language audio. Also, it's going to encore on Sundays. And the brilliant minds over at Schedule Programming decided to sandwich Primal and Rooster Fighter with common side effects in the middle.
Oh, that's an interesting combination.
It is. It is.
It is a choice.
I
see-
would have put Rooster Fighter right after Primal, but what do I know?
But see that's the thing. Like, they could have done that with Primal too. You know what I mean? They could have been like, play the new episode on Toonami. You could.
Oh,
only play it in
yes.
the- But no. Gendy's got to have his way, and no, it can't be on Toonami brand new,
So Toonami gets it almost a week after.
which is so stupid.
Yay.
Which is
Meanwhile,
so
Hooray!
Sunday gets Rooster Fighter the day after.
yeah,
The same day as Hulu.
and then it streams after too. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Though I do wonder if Hulu and Disney Plus will only stream the sub. Like maybe that's how it's working out. Adult Swim gets the dub, they get the sub. I don't know.
I
Maybe.
can see that being plausible.
Or maybe this is one of those things where it's kind of like a harmonious thing where like Disney and Hulu's like, oh yeah, Bleach, you can have that, but we want something in return, and yeah, maybe this is what
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough.
But I will say, if you there was actually, I think it was either today or late yesterday, they did say that Disney is almost caught up with YouTube and viewership. So not gonna hate that there's gonna be all these eyes on Rooster Fighter. Not gonna hate that at all. Because here's the
No.
other thing too, with the uncertainty of whatever's gonna happen, whether the whole thing with HBO Max, or not HBO Max, Warner Brothers Discovery being bought by whoever.
Yeah, I don't think Warner Brothers is involved in Rooster Fighter at all.
No.
I think it's specifically Adult Swim. So when that split happens, if it does, Adult Swim will get to keep those rights.
Yes.
I think.
I mean, Viz technically owns Rooster Fighter, so I mean, who knows? Yeah. But I would assume that at least for a time, they do have rights to it. So who knows? I don't know. It's just very interesting that it's not on HBO Max. But I mean, I understand that Viz has been working more with Disney and Hulu, but it's all going to be Disney at some point anyways later this year. So it's like, okay. Cuz you don't typically see that happen with like Viz shows lately where it's like outside of Netflix, or I'm sorry, outside of Hulu, unless it's like an older show like maybe Inuyasha or something. But yeah, it's been weird. It's been like, oh, so this is Viz's new streaming partner. Okay. All right.
They've been partners with Hulu for a long time, really, but I think that relationship has only become stronger.
Yes.
When they ended Neon Alley, they kind of folded it into Hulu.
Yeah, they did.
They did. Yeah. Neon Alley. Oh my god, that was ahead of its time too. Jesus Christ.
It really was.
If we're doing this, sharesy thing, how about Yaiba?
Ooh.
That's a Viz license. I mean, it's on Netflix too, but that's a Viz license on Hulu that could be rerun on Toonami like Bleach. But what I really want to see happen is for Disney to be like, yeah, sure, go ahead, play these Hulu anime on Toonami. We don't care. Give us money.
I mean,
Heavenly Delusion. I want Summertime Rendering, and I really want Go Loser Ranger.
So actually, Sketch, you're kind of onto something, I think, because
I am onto something. I've been saying this ever since Bleach showed up.
But here's the thing: Disney gets it because, like, for example, movie theaters, they like to put their content in movie theaters first, right? Because they get that if you put these movies in theaters, they're gonna potentially make billions of dollars depending on the IP that's playing in theaters at the certain point, and then they get to stream it several months later and still make money because people are going to watch it there. So it makes sense that Disney would be like, hey, do you want to license insert anime? I mean, if any company gets that, it's probably them. Sony, not so much. I mean, look at a better example now that we can use, and it makes me laugh, is the whole K-pop Demon Hunter thing, where they're like, oh yeah, here, Netflix, you can have this, and then it became this worldwide sensation. They're like, no, okay, no.
I swear to you, The only reason Goat is in theaters is because of Stephen Curry. I swear
That
to
is
you, that's
correct.
the only reason.
That is correct. By the way, side note, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but I have a feeling that the double feature at the drive-in with Mario will be that as the second feature. Just putting that out there. I don't know why. I mean, it's going to be like the only animated thing, really. So I mean, it makes sense, but it's kind of like I wouldn't have thought that would go with that, but whatever.
What are you talking about, Goat or K-pop Demon Hunters?
Oh, I meant Goat. I'm sorry. Goat would probably be the second feature with Mario.
Well, that's interesting because Mario's not coming out till April, and Goat's
Correct.
already out.
Yeah, so you got to keep in mind too, Sketch. There's not very much animated out there right now, so and that's probably going to be one of
Yeah, I know. I'm
so.
acutely aware.
But
Aware what?
starting in April and going into the summer, it's going to be an extravaganza. Toy Story, Minions. Um, I mean, I can't. It's not a cartoon in this sense, but Moana was a cartoon. It's going to be the live action one, so technically, if you want to get technical. So, I mean, it's gonna be a good summer. So,
Hmm.
but anyways, yeah, I
Well,
do agree with that. That Disney
wait.
probably their IPs will be. I can see them letting anybody have those anime and making the money off of that. Sorry.
I guess it's a good thing that Ninja Turtles 2 is hitting theaters this year because Netflix.
I mean,
Okay.
we don't
They'd lock
know.
that up. They'd
We
lock
we
that
don't
up.
know. Actually, real quick, don't know this 100%, but from what I've heard from my booker that books the movies for us, he doesn't seem to think that Netflix is going to lock up retro movies.
Well, that would be good.
So anything like they're thinking that if Netflix does go through with everything, it's just going to stay the same. All it is it's going to be this thing on the side. It's going to run like it's normally run. It's going to be Warner Brothers. It is what it is. And the only extra thing might be Netflix would release their films through it. Finally.
Also potentially good.
So
Okay. Yeah, we haven't gotten to any of the recaps yet, but since I already harked on the programming department about the odd choice with Sunday's schedule order, um, what I don't know what's going on. At 5 a.m. they were playing DBZ Kai. For 1 week, 1 week only, they're going to be playing Dragon Ball Daima. I think that's actually this week. Yeah, this week they're playing Dragon Ball Daima for 1 week. I guess they decided that playing it for 2 weeks, where they would finish it, they shouldn't do that because then they'd get ahead of Toonami on their rerun or something. I don't know, because Sailor Moon is on the schedule for the first week of March.
Hopefully for real this time.
yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully for real this time.
And by the way, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all.
No. No, not a bad idea at all. I mean, they should have been doing that.
Which, by the way, that leads me to ask the question of, did it really do well when it was on Rewind and you decided, hey, let's just bring it back?
I think they're
Maybe.
just making use of the rights that they have. I was off by a week, so Daima is anyway, Sailor Moon's on March 10th, which is, if I could pull up a calendar, the second week of March. Yeah, second week of March, and Daima's gonna be the first week of March. I guess. Huh. Well, anyway. Who really cares? It's at 5 a.m. But the important thing is that starting, I guess it would be technically March. It is technically March 10th, but if you're thinking of it as Monday night, it would be March 9th for Sailor Moon. Full 5 a.m. hour, Sailor Moon. Watch it if you're awake, or DVR it and watch it later. You know, good stuff.
Moon's
I'll be
always
sure
fun.
to update you if they change it again. Because this is like the third time.
Poor Sailor Moon.
Yeah. I don't know. Time for some recaps, and our other participant has joined the chat.
Hello.
Yes, it's our data monkey Colt Burr, which we
I mean,
haven't.
not much of a monkey anymore since there's no goddamn ratings.
Yeah, there's no data. No data.
I
No
am a
ratings.
monkey without a Mega Man.
Alas.
He is stuck on the moon. I can't get him off.
That is a
Yeah.
problem.
I do wonder what some of their recent decisions have accomplished in the ratings. But
Never
it's
know.
all still airing, so whatever. Whatever. Let's start with those recaps, and I'm going to start with Primal. Episode 6, Cavern of Horrors. When we last left things off, Spear, Mira, Fang, and the Dino Babies were trying to find the den of the giant boars that had captured various people and are using them as a food supply. Though they don't actually know that, but we as the viewers know that. And tensions are still very high between Spear and Fang in particular. Or really, it's all Fang's side. Spear is trying to reconnect, but Fang is not interested.
Bad juju.
Yeah. And Abu and Lou are dead. They're dead. Sad. But Mira and Spear have found the den of the giant boars. They do some reconnaissance, but here's the thing. Spear stinks really bad. And that evidently alerts the boars of their presence. So the two of them hide in some bones. Quick thinking. And Mira watches the feeding cycle and realizes that the boars will be easier to deal with after they feed and all fall asleep together, like a happy little unit. But Spear is now struggling to pull himself out from the bones and making quite a bit of noise. But thankfully, it doesn't disturb the boars. They are totally itised out. So Mira runs back outside and grabs some vines to create a rope, which she'll use to try and help the people down in the pit. She motions to Spear, like, at her nose, trying to convey to him that he is rank and cannot follow.
And he doesn't know what to make of that.
He
He
just
touches
kinda
his own nose.
touches his nose and like, But at least he doesn't go after her. Not yet, anyway. The Dino Babies also try to go, but Fang growls at them, so they don't. And Spear once again tries to reconnect with Fang. She's not having it. He even brings over some quality grub, but she refuses. The babies, on the other hand, demolish that.
Oh, they're all for that. They'll take it.
I love how whenever food is around, they just go at it. It's so fun.
It's a recurring gag, and it's a good one.
It is. So Mira returns and waits for another feeding. How much time has passed? Because this seems pretty fast. we're already feeding again. But once the
4 to 6
boars,
hours.
yeah, once the boars fall asleep, she tosses down the rope to the pit to the child whose name is Jabu, and the child starts climbing up. But the others realize every man for himself. What is this, Blue Lock? And they start fighting over who's going to get out of the pit. Mira manages to grab Jabu and pull him up, but now they're getting surrounded by the boars, which were alerted by all the ruckus, and they're getting backed up against the pit, and the kid's like, Mira, we're going to fall. And they fall. They fall back down into the pit. And that's when Spear, Fang, and the Dino babies rush in and attack the boars. Fang attacks the mama boar, which proves to be quite formidable. That's right, it's a mom battle! And a death battle. So the mama boar actually does get the better of Fang, smashes her into a wall and some rocks, and that sends Spear into a rage, but he's tossed aside. Eventually he ends up in the pit with a boar, and he's fighting the boar down in the pit, and it's real scary. People are running around. It's like, you don't want to be down there with those boars. Eventually, Fang's able to bite the mother boar's jugular while the baby dinos nip at her legs, and the boar goes down. Then the one of the remaining smaller boars attacks Mira and throws her into a wall. Furious, Spear tears into that boar and then goes to try to check on Mira, but is stopped by a very angry Fang. So Jabu and the dino babies go to check on Mira, who's bloody and not moving. But she'll be okay, right?
Oh, yeah,
Right?
totally. It's Primal.
I
Nobody
mean-
dies in Primal, right?
That we already know
Okay.
how S2 ended.
I mean,
helps.
yeah. Season 2 is already spoiled that the kid's alive and well in the future. Or was that really what happens?
I'd be very disappointed if it wasn't, or if they do die.
Oh man, when the baby dinos started getting in there, I was like, no, don't get in there. Don't you die on me. I can't take it. I can't take it.
We've had enough Dino baby death already.
Yes, we have. Ah, Colt, what do you think of this episode and this season of Primal so far?
I mean, the episode was fine, but hot take, I don't get why Spear is in this. Like, I feel like it kind of undermines the ending of season 2, and they were trying to find ways to bring him back and did so half-assed.
Yeah, I don't think it's
like-
a hot take. I don't think it's a
All right.
hot take.
I mean,
no, I
I'm-
think that's a cold take.
I wasn't sure. I mean, that's just how that's what I wanted to say. I mean, the episode's fine. It's just like, why didn't we just focus on Mira in the village?
I mean, clearly Mira can handle things pretty well herself.
Yeah. So, like, cool episode. I love the fact that, like, we saw Fang just rip the throat out of the mama boar. That was an awesome moment.
Yeah.
Like, I actually expected that to go a little longer, but it was just like, nope, she just chomps and just rips out its neck Mortal Kombat style and it falls dead. like,
Fatality.
okay. I was like, okay, cool. That was kind of awesome, actually. But yet, it's just like I'm sitting there watching Spear and just like, why are you here? Like, you are undead for the sake of being undead, and we've never really bothered to explain all that. Hopefully, they do it later on, but I feel like it's too late at this point. But good episode. Spear just needs to die and stay dead, not be zombie.
Spear has become a little bit of a foil, actually. With the odor being a problem and
Right?
other
Yeah.
things.
Like, yeah. They're playing him being a rotted corpse well. It's just like we spent the first like 5 episodes just following him on his walk, and I just feel like we could have done more with that, or we could have gone to Mira and actually used some of that time with her in the village.
Fair observation.
That's
Yeah,
my
I
thoughts.
think if Kuro was here, she'd agree with you.
Yeah.
Agree. She would
Yeah.
not. I think I agree as well.
Yeah. I don't know. We're 6 episodes in to 10, and I'm just still kind of scratching my head at why we went this direction.
I still think this was like someone in a position during the pre-production was just like, well, we have to have Spear. He's the main character. It's like, no, we've already done his storyline. How do we bring him back? Random voodoo. And they just kind of got fucked into doing it. That's one of those, like, I would like to do, like, if Genny Tartakovsky does an AMA, I'd just be like, why did we do it this way? What was the point? And I'd love to see what his answer is.
He's actually on Reddit tomorrow.
Oh, convenient.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah, as soon as you said it, I'm like, well, about that.
Convenient.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get some answers. Not sure if we're going to like them, though.
As long as it's a explained answer, I'll be fine with it.
Fair. Steven, what are your thoughts?
I like it. I do like how they can balance the human element of the show with the element of humor in it. How it's like, okay, it's going to be Spear going crazy most of the time, and Fang going crazy most of the time, but then they can like have him be so goofy enough, even as a dead person, to like try to help out and try to do something to like saying, yeah, I can do it when he's clearly falling apart. And he clearly knows, but he still tries to help. And so I do like that human element in there of like he's trying to do something and everything. Another thing I was thinking of, so I don't know any further. I was going to watch the next episode, but I did not, like always. I was thinking, since Mira got knocked out, if the child has died, if it is the kid they saved the adopted kid? Is that like the daughter of it? Because the kid doesn't have any
Well,
parents, I don't think, anymore. Unless they
Jabu is a boy.
Okay, then.
I'm
Well, then
pretty
I
sure.
messed up and I have no idea then. But maybe
Well, the
I mean
parents
because
were still alive anyway. They were still in the village last time.
okay,
I
so
don't
that's why they went hunting. Okay, then. Well,
Yeah.
then we know what's going on. My theory just went right out the window.
Yeah, I think Jabu is like her Mira's nephew, maybe. I mean, Jabu was playing with the baby dinosaurs, and I don't think just anybody in the village would be doing.
True. And then one more other point. Um, we don't know what the words are in the language and everything, but we kind of assume that I think she said lira or something like that, something
Mira.
along those lines. Yeah, and that approximately means stop.
Nah, I think he's just like Mira, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
saying
we're
her
about to
name.
fall.
It could be wait, stop, or like something similar to
Yeah.
like a hold
Yeah,
on.
because and it's like, huh?
I just thought they were saying her name.
Oh, interesting.
But what if it's both?
Why
could
not
be.
both? It could be. Can't rule
could
that
be.
out.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of cool though. I mean, it's an Arabic language, I assume, but yeah, it's kind of cool how they do invent their own language and invent something for a show like this, and how far they think about all of these things they want to put in. I mean, Samurai Jack was a cool one that would think about the past, the present, in the future of everything going on with the show to make it all kind of canon. This one is interesting. I mean, bringing back a dead person, yeah. But this one is interesting that they thought about everything around it and the world building with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Laser, any thoughts on this episode of Primal?
Well, it was interesting to see Spear just keeps trying to make up Fang, and it's not happening. And it's
She's just
curious.
not that into you, man.
I think there's a if you forget the pun, unintentional, primal recognition of that ain't right.
Hmm.
There's a scene where in this episode where Fang sniffs him, like almost going, "Hey, wait, are you old friend? Ew, no, not old friend. You bad juju."
Yeah. Yeah, she's really trying to come to grips with all the familiarity. Is like, no, it can't be him. It can't be. He's dead. That's not my guy.
Death is permanent. What is this voodoo magic?
Yeah. Bad juju. Anything to add, Paul?
This series is weirder and weirder every time. That's all I can really say. I don't know what the point of this season is, to be honest with you. I really
I think
don't.
that is the downside to what is
Yeah,
happening.
I just don't. I feel like Gendy was like, "Oh, this is just so popular of a series that I have to do something," and it's like, no, you really don't. Or if you're gonna do another season of Primal, move on to a different character. You know what I mean? Maybe one of his sons or something. You know what I mean? Like,
He doesn't have a son. He
oh,
has
whatever.
one daughter.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm losing my
He
mind.
had
And
a
he said
son
he
along-
didn't want to. Well, yeah, he did have a son. So,
Yeah.
let's
That's what makes
resurrect
me
his
sad.
kids.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, do something. I don't know what you would do, but I don't know. It just
He
this.
has talked about Gendy has talked about um he didn't want to focus on the journey of Spear's daughter. He felt that was too young. Now, it didn't have to be. Like, Gendy, come on. There's plenty of adult targeted shows with a child protagonist.
Hmm.
They tend to be really brutal, which is something that Primal tends to be.
Right. And you could always fast forward and have her as an adult. You know what I mean?
That
And
too.
being at adventures.
Or
So
or we
That-
could have focused on the one captain of that crew that they were fighting on in late season 1.
Oh yeah.
I mean something. Do
Yeah.
something
Mhm.
Something
different.
something other than dead Spear wandering around for 6 episodes.
Oh my god, please. Please. At
Come
this
on,
point,
that was only like 4.5 episodes.
I mean, at this point, he's going to be walking around just as a skeleton at some point with a brain. Like, Jesus Christ.
He's gonna turn
mean,
into
I-
Skeletor.
I mean, I am impressed at the voodoo magic because it's like, oh, he can still use a skeleton despite not having muscles or tendons or flesh or anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
that don't make sense.
Laser, that'd be kind of funny. Like, how did Skeletor come to be?
He
Ta-da!
was Spear once, and then he became Skeletor. That's why he hates He-Man so much. He reminds him of himself.
Ah.
Oh, that's coming out this summer too. I forgot about that.
Yes, the movie. I'm actually
Yes.
It
very
doesn't
excited
it
for
doesn't
that.
actually look bad, by the way. Side note.
No, it doesn't. I'm actually very excited because, oh man,
Why
that
did
stuff
they
had-
turn He-Man into an isekai?
Yeah, they did that in the '87 movie too. So
They did actually too. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh.
So it's
Interesting.
not it's like people are complaining about that. I think they're complaining more that I think what does it say on his name tag? Like
oh,
He, him.
he him, which
He-
is just an
like-
obvious joke.
Yeah, but then people take it the wrong way.
Oh
It's
my
like,
goodness, pronouns for he
no.
man.
He-Man,
Yeah,
which
I
is the
know.
obvious joke being made here.
So
Can't wait
come
for
on.
She-Ra. What pronouns are those? I
Primal-
don't know.
Primal's so
what
bad that we're
pronoun is
talking
raw?
about.
It's Egyptian, I would guess.
Did you hear what I said? I said we're talking. Primal's so bad that we're talking about the He-Man movie instead.
Or was it
Primal
an actual
is
flow of
great.
conversation?
Like that episode of Primal was really entertaining. I loved
It was.
Spear
I actually
fumbling
did
around in
enjoy
the
that episode.
bones. I loved the realization that Spear stinks so bad that he's bad at reconnaissance.
Yeah, like the overall episode is fine. It's just like the larger plot thread of season 3 is the issue.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
no, the episode was fine. I actually said a lot of all of them good.
Mhm.
The problem was the setup.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. It was a choice.
It's a choice that has been made.
Mhm.
I'm willing to see where it goes. Hopefully, it goes somewhere interesting. But right now, I'm just kind of like, okay. I'm actually with Colt on this. All right. And that why? But if we get a good why, then okay then.
Yeah. Hopefully, we get a good why. All right then. It's time to talk about some soccer. In Blue Lock episode 3, Soccer's Zero. Isagi wins the rock paper scissors, so he gets to pick center forward and takes up the role of leading the team, Team Z, in their match against Team X. The rules are the best of 2 teams in the round robin will advance, and the top scorer on the losing team will also advance. If there is a tie, then they'll factor in penalty points and yada yada. So, everybody is not so thrilled with their roles, except for Isagi, who he gets to be the center forward, and the big guy that was like, don't tell me to be the goalie. In the previous episode, was like, well, he's the goalie. Don't tell me I have a hard time saying no.
He had a hard time saying no.
He did. So they're out on the field, and both teams are bickering amongst each other and try to steal the ball from their teammates. Like Raichi just goes right in there as Isagi's thinking about his first move. Is like, hey, did you hear him? The person who scores the most goals gets to continue. Great teamwork, guys. Great teamwork. But hey,
In this
the other
show?
team is also not great at teamwork until the King Barrow scores a goal for Team X, which has
How
them
many
all being
bars are we
like,
gonna have in Toonami?
yeah. I think that at that point the team's like, so if we want to win, give the ball to Barrow. Yeah. Barrow is another monster, and Isagi can't believe how big, fast, and skilled this guy is. Eventually, Bachara suggests that he and Isagi pass to each other at least, but that plan is immediately foiled by their teammates, who are still looking out for their own skin. In this case, it was the monk guy. The monk guy. What was his name? Igarashi. Yeah. Not gonna lie, I keep a character list on hand.
That is
Because
wise.
otherwise I'd just be using nicknames.
The guy, that guy.
That guy, the angry
You
guy,
you know the guy, that guy.
Baku Ichigo. That
Asshole
guy.
427B.
Yeah.
Policeman
Close
2147.
Yeah. Right. So that's immediately stopped by Igarashi. Before long, it's 5-0 because the other team has gotten their shit together. And time's running out. So there's one last ditch effort between Isagi and Bachira to think, hey, we can't turn this thing around, but we can score 1 point. And that's what they do. But it's not as easy as they think it's going to be. Because Isagi does break away and he's like heading towards the goal and everything's looking good. But oh, here's that Baro guy again. Mad dogging him. He's like, no, it's 1-on-1. I can take him. I can do it. But then he freezes up. And his teammates, particularly Kunigami and Raichi, are yelling at him for a pass. And Isagi thinks, no, an egotistical striker would just go for it. They'd just shoot the ball. But at the last moment, he passes back to Kunigami, who pulls off a shot from way downtown. Like the other guys are like, there's no way he's going to make that shot. Of course he makes that shot. So in the aftermath of that, Kunigami gives Isagi props while Raichi is super pissed off because he was even like, hey, I was even more open. Yeah, whatever. But really, he's just mad that he wasn't.
There.
He's just mad because he wasn't the one who scored a point. And after witnessing that, Baro talks down to Isagi, telling him he has no skill as a striker. After the devastating loss, Team Z contemplates what Ego was trying to teach them about creating soccer from zero. Chiguri, the guy with the long red hair, voiced by Aaron Dismuke, says he doesn't think everything Ego has mentioned is right. And he points out that all those players that were mentioned have never actually won a World Cup either. Huh. But he thinks...
is an interesting thought. When that's...
Yeah. But he thinks that Ego is trying to give him a hint. And Isagi thinks that he might understand what zero is and explains how at the beginning everybody was at zero, everybody was fighting for themselves.
Zero's a Mega Man character, the monkey.
Right. Baro's first goal caused Team X to get behind him and work together, and that took from 0 to 1, and from 1 they built from that. Baro broke the 0 and turned their chaotic game into 1. With that team, they can. With that, a team can involve 10 to even 100. But they require someone to produce the 1. Kuon, the mom of the group, states that the striker turns 0 to 1, while the other positions multiply it from 10 or even to 100. Naruhaya and Isagi believe Ego added that top scorer rule to help them figure this out, as the team is created by the striker, and that must be what Ego was talking about. And Ego chimes in, as he does. He shows up on the screen and tells them that they're on the right track, and he informs them that the second game in Building 5 just ended and Team V beat Team Y 8-0. He then states, while they are on the right track, they still don't know how to turn 0 into 1. Ego then talks about how in Japan, the Japanese love having roles allocated to them so that they can just complete their tasks. It's their purpose. He gives an example like baseball, where Japan is on par with the rest of the world, and explains that in baseball, each role is clearly defined, and that explains why it works for Japanese players. It fits the Japanese psyche, and that's why they're good at it. However, soccer is not a sport you can win by simply doing your task. Thus, personal and individual skills are needed as weapons. To score is to destroy the structure of the enemy team. And Ego tells them to think about what weapon they can use to accomplish that. And Isuke takes it to heart, thinking, what weapon can we use? Okay. So what I think we're getting at is don't think so much about roles, think about your individual skills and how they can be useful to disrupt the other team and win. Sure. I don't know much about soccer, but sure. uh Steven, what are your thoughts on this episode of Blue Lock?
I don't know what's going on in this show, man, but it's fun. Like I
Fair.
say that every week, but it is. It's like it's an anime. It's fun watching it. I don't know what's going on. Ego's basically the Riddler, giving these kids all these, you know, tasks to figure out. Go from 1 to 0 or something like that. I'm like, the dude thinks he's the Riddler, and he's like giving out all these clues, and they have to think like they're Batman. Like, what is he gonna do next? Oh my gosh, we have to play soccer. And it's like, it's just playing soccer and work as a team. And it's like, yeah, you have to have an ego. You have to, the biggest players have egos, and a lot of sports players have egos, but the biggest ones have the most egos. But you still have to work as a team. And it's like, the dude's obsessed. Ego is obsessed with his own name of ego and thinking everyone has an ego, including himself, who has the biggest ego of them all in this show. But they're trying to find someone else who has an ego bigger than him, and he's trying. I don't know what it is, but it's fun to watch it. It's fun to. It's like what Laser was saying before the stream. It's like watching a car wreck and all of these kids trying to get into it, because it's like something wrong is going to happen. It's not fun when they lose, but it's like you can tell that scene when they were all in the locker room, they were all dejected and everything. But you can also tell that scene was, man, that was for the ladies and some of the guys as well, because all those muscles were drawn, man. I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, man. I don't know.
Not to mention Bachara showed up with nothing.
Yeah. So there's your obligatory Food Wars kind of reference right there. The soccer was so intense that it blew his clothes off or something. I don't know.
What happening in food? You're not wrong.
Yes. But aside from that, I mean, it's fun. It's at times stupid. I didn't think soccer would go that intense that they're trying to teach them that stuff. Now they're heading against Team Y, because they lost too, and so it's like Z and Y, and it's
Team Y because they lost.
yeah. It's that show is something else, and it's like I do love the fun little after time, or what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do love that little fun bit, because they do poke fun at like how many rooms are in that whole place, the size of the whole area and all that, because none of it makes sense. They spent all that money on blue paint, and they're gonna like talk about ego to all these kids when they don't give them beds. I don't know how you're fun. The Japanese government is funding this whole thing. It's on the whole thing's on a bunch of it's funded on a bunch of matches at this point, because that whole thing's going to go up in flames by someone. But
They're
go ahead,
they're
Colt.
trying to use sumo as the basis for soccer,
because
that's how they usually live in a sumo stable.
Interesting.
Thank you for that observation, Cole.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about this episode of Blue Lock?
I'm not sure how I want to say or how to phrase it. Like, it's interesting, but I'm also losing interest fast, because I feel like they throw you in so quickly. It mostly just boils down to, you want to be the best, be the biggest asshole in the room. And sure, yeah, there's like some Dr. Stone level like information drops that happen, but I also feel like it doesn't really add to the show. It's almost kind of like an add-on after the
like the obvious, hey, we've all been dicks to each other. Well, here's the answers to why you're being dicks. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I'll give you like 2 more episodes. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like half watch it after that, but depends on what happens in the next few episodes. I mean, interesting. I just kind of feel like I'm not really a major soccer person. Maybe that's why. I don't know. It just feels like they're kind of force feeding it at times. That's my feelings on the series so far. Like, hopefully it kicks up a bit. I feel like I'm just not like invested in any of the characters right now.
There will be kicking involved.
Indeed, there will.
Paul, what are your thoughts on this episode of Blue Lock?
Oh God. So I have to agree with Colt in the sense that I'm starting to lose interest. I'm kind of in this state of, should I continue watching the show? But yeah. So I guess I am interested. So it's more like, do I watch the show? But I'm interested. Do I still keep watching the show? But I'm still a little bit intrigued, interested of what's going on here. It's just very weird because it's like, I want to know more, but I'm also like, this isn't the typical anime that I like to watch. So it's like, I'm trying to give it a chance. I'm trying to, but I'm just like,
Yeah, same. I feel
yeah.
like this is like Dr. Stone or Food Wars, but they're putting way too much emphasis on, or how do I want to say, like, it's Dr. Stone's Food Wars, but the characters aren't appealing enough for me to want to care.
Well,
All right,
I mean,
that's fair.
there's,
The
yeah. I mean,
characters are not really winning me over, except for
no.
Bachira, Isagi, and Ego. Ego makes this show worthwhile to me.
Ego is
Yeah,
the fun of the show. The more
Yeah,
ego you
he's-
get, the funnier, the more fun.
Well, that, and it's also, you know, oh, hey, here's the explanation of all like the weird ass science behind it. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Now let's go back to these dumb fucks. Can we just let Ego take the show, please? I'd rather learn about soccer this way than watching these morons fight over their
Let's go
own
back to
how
these
big their
dumb
dicks
fucks.
are.
Let's just make the whole show just Ego explaining things.
Colt, you make me laugh sometimes.
I just want Ego's
Oh,
TED
come on.
Talks. That's what I want. Ego's TED
Yes.
Talks.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
so
My name is Jinpachi Ego. Welcome to my TED Talk.
like,
For a second there, I thought
So,
you were about to
I'll
say, "My
give you
name
an
is Apache
example.
Eagle. Welcome to Jackass."
yeah.
That
So, like,
also works.
the second episode, obviously we're talking about the third episode, but the second episode, for example, I'm just staring at the screen going, what's the point of this episode? And then this one, I'm like, okay, at least we have a purpose to this one. And I'm like, still sitting here going, well, you gonna show me this monster or what? like I'm like, because that part kind of interests me. I'm like, oh, okay, so the good players have this quote unquote monster in them. What is that? What does that mean? Am I gonna become attached to
bet
this series
Dogen
now
and-
because of that? And it's like, no, nothing yet. Like, okay, let's just keep watching and see what happens. Because, I mean, again, it's a sports anime. Okay, I get it. I need to give it a chance, and I'm trying to give it a chance, but it's just like, oh, you're not helping yourself. You're not.
I'm willing to give it to a cap of episode 5, episode 6 at this point before I just zone out.
Yeah, I mean,
Because-
I'm
because-
ready. I'm ready to go to episodes like 5 or 6, like you said. I don't.
Sounds like you're just moving the goalposts.
Badoomch.
No, I mean, I do typically give it about 3 episodes to go in on a series, but I'm like, Toonami brought this in. I really want to give this a chance. Let me give it a couple more episodes, and then just be either done with this or whatever.
I'm surprised they grabbed this one, but okay. That was definitely like okay, that's an interesting selection.
Tokyo Revengers
Yeah.
kind of made sense, but this was like okay, that's an interesting one because wasn't this show like railed over the coals for like season 3 being PNGs or something like
It's
that?
season 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
it's season
thinking-
Yeah,
2.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think like Sketches said, I think it was just a package deal, and
Yeah.
I think Toonami at this point is looking to see, which is what Toonami at its core is experimenting to see what animes would work, especially now. I mean, it's not a problem for me to try sports anime because we haven't tried.
Yeah.
But something tells me that maybe they shouldn't have picked this show.
I mean,
so
I'm fine with the pick. It's more just like personally, you're just not giving me a whole lot to want to connect to the show with.
yes,
And that's where I'm
yeah.
losing interest. So it's like, okay, this is like what, 13, 26 episodes, season 1? Probably 13, I'd assume. So like my
Yeah.
usual rule of thumb is like
24
3 to 5
episodes.
Okay, so then yeah, at that point it'd be around maybe 5 to 7 before I would make if I stay or if I zone out on it.
Should I
So
stay or should I go? Ooh.
so to that Colt, and actually that's probably why I'm having an issue with it. There doesn't it's not just the action. Yes, I'm an action cartoon guy. I like action in my shows. We already know this. Don't need to go into detail about that. It's more the other side because it's there's a story, but it doesn't. Maybe this makes sense.
There's
but
stuff
it doesn't
going.
have like feeling. It doesn't have any feeling
Yeah.
right now. It doesn't feel like
Yeah,
I'm not
it
connecting to it. So
yeah, because
yeah.
it throws you in immediately into here's Blue Lock, here's all these people who want to be strikers, and go. And you're kind of like, so we're just doing the Hunter x Hunter exam without knowing anyone. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
basically,
much.
You hit it
Yeah.
on the head. You hit it on the head. That's exactly what it is. It's like Hunter x Hunter without giving all that story beforehand.
I mean, it doesn't Borrowed
Exactly.
look like a Hunter x Hunter character?
Oh, absolutely.
Several
Yeah.
people in that show that when you look at them, it's just like there's Hunter x Hunter vibes on the character designs. Yes.
True. I would give you that. Yeah, so I mean I guess that's where I'm at with the show at this point. I'm not shitting on it yet. I want to give it some time. I want to give it, let it try to prove itself, but it's not looking good. It's not
Hey, yo,
looking
let
good.
them cook. Let them cook.
I mean, I'm letting him cook. It's just you got about 3, 4 more episodes before I go. Okay, I'm just gonna zone out.
Well, I'm sure it's not for everyone, but I'm of the opinion that this is kind of an off-kilter enough sports anime that it fits Toonami better than a more traditional sports anime might.
Oh yeah, no, I'll agree with that. Like I'm not gonna diss the show for what it's trying to do. It's more just like it may not be for me in the end, which is like a first for what they've usually grabbed. It's been rare that I've actually like net nulled on a series. I've disliked a few, but this is probably one of the first ones where I'm almost like, I can't say I hate it. It's got a cool idea, just it doesn't click to me.
Fair enough.
I think the problem is we don't really we know that they've got this whole thing of we're gonna be great and soccer players and it's gonna be a good time and it's like is it so? And I don't know, but I'm not rooting for anyone, not even Isagi, because I don't really understand him.
No.
And I think that's the problem. We're not, and it's been said already. We're not connected. The most that we're connected to is Dr. Ego because he's funny as hell.
And he's the only one that provides any level of substance. Everyone else is just, I'm going to be the best. And he's like, well, let me explain how you can be the best in a way that rivals Senku talking about how to make plastic.
Not wrong.
Yeah. So I had some observations. I think it was a form of the monster affecting Isagi when he decided to pass the ball instead of shoot. which you would think the monster would make him shoot. But then again, Bachira said the monster told him to pass to Isagi.
The monster wants to win, however it wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Another observation, I don't know if this is intentional or if I'm catching on to something here. The announcer over the intercom, the woman's voice, that sounds like that sounds like Henri. I think it's her. If not,
Okay.
it sounds a lot like her. I would find it interesting if she is the one overseeing this. I mean, it is sort of her baby too, along with Ego's. So maybe she is that involved. Or maybe I'm just hearing things. But that's my headcanon. So far. I think that would be an interesting element. Yeah. Bachira, put some pants on, bro. Towel up. Don't forget your towel. Don't forget your towel. Man.
Owls are important.
They certainly are. But yeah, seriously. I just want Ego's TED Talks.
Ego is definitely the fun part.
Super duper fun. But yeah, I struggle to connect with a lot of these characters. Like, why do I care about Raichi? He's just loud and annoying. I kind of like Kunigami, but I mean, he's also just kind of boring, at least so far. And Kuon's all like the guys, we should be, we should be chill, guys. Just guys. At least Chigiri, the red-haired guy, is thinking about things. Whatever that means. I did like in the in the skit afterwards, the guy who ate the wontons with his bare hands and are like, stop it, use your chopsticks. Kuo's like, here, let's get those hands clean. You as mom? These are fun. That opening cut was not good. Not good. Not good. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah. As per usual, we'll be saving Tokyo Revengers for next time, but we have a couple of episodes of Bleach to talk about, and I will be passing it over to Laser.
Indeed. We've got a couple of very feely episodes of Bleach. We'll start with episode 37, Shadows Gone. Also, yeah, I was wrong. He's still around. We got another Baro. But we begin with what I initially thought was Nanao asking, presumably a young Shinsui, to keep a hairpin for luck. But then another young man, who I'm even more convinced, and now I know is Shinsui, tells them that he's really mellowed out. And Shinsui wakes up in the present. So, yeah, that was Shinsui. He was being woken by his sis, not Nanao. Meanwhile, Baro's going on about how you were a fool to think a mere Bankai could kill a messenger of God. I guess I'm the fool that thought the messenger of God was dead, even though I'd seen it before. In my own credit here, he changes his form again to a weird owl butterfly thing. So I kind of didn't pass it off as the same guy in my memory. But yeah, that's totally little Baro. Still telling us how he is close to God, or is God. He can't quite make up his mind on that. Shinsui's not very amused by all this, and as the voice of the audience, he says, "Give me a break, will ya?" More rants from Lil Barrow. This is what despair feels like. I am immortal. I am invincible. You might as well add I am obnoxious to that list. Shunsui gets away from the ensuing attack. And his Bankai tells him to run away. No one will blame you. And she puts him to sleep. She'll carry him. But he is awoken by Nanao, who's come to his aid, as she was going to do anyway. He's glad to see she's alive, and then she demands her Zanpakuto. She tells him she needs to put the, or rather, he needs to put the promise he made to her mother aside. Shunsui's shocked. Lil Bar accuses them of being sinful. He does this a lot in this episode. He's kind of a one-note villain at this point. It's almost kind of hilarious. Shunsui does a damaging wave, which does annoy Barrow while they escape. Shunsui asks Nanao if she had known about the promise, or rather, known about her mother, and she says yes. Known all along. There's a lot of cryptic talk over who knows what, but Shunsui says that you can have her Zanpakuto. Hyokotsu. Lubaro searches for them and finds them hiding in shadows, and he's going to remove all the shadows so they can't hide. My immediate gut reaction was good luck with that. I don't care how much light you throw around, you're going to cast a shadow somewhere. But yes, Katen Kyokotsu is Nanao's Zanpakuto, but Nanao's mother wanted it hidden from her because their line are all women, and the men who married into that family have all died young, including apparently Shunsui's brother. Dun dun dun. Some were like, oh, this is just superstition, but Nanao's mom was so desperate to avoid this that she married into a separate family away from the Issei clan. But it took her husband, who, as mentioned, is Shunsui's brother, shortly after they married. So Nanao's his niece. And this episode hit me differently than it did the first time I saw it, because I'm now an uncle, and I'm like, oh, I'm starting to feel some of this. But they never got, he and his brother had never quite got along, apparently, until he got married, and then they all became very close. When Shunsui's brother died, Nanao's mother was sent back to the Issei clan. She felt trapped and believed it was due to the sword. Shunsui had his Zanpakuto hide her Zanpakuto to protect Nanao. Nanao pops out of a tiny shadow, shocking Lil Barrow, and she deflects his light attack right back at him. Just as my mother made her own decisions to end this curse, I have made my own to embrace it, he says, and wow. The stones Nanao's got here. She's like, nope, I'm going to do it. I'm going to fight. And one of my favorite lines from her here is, why should I even worry about a curse when the man I admire most just smile and say not to worry about it? I love the chemistry of the character episode. It really. Shunsui gives it to her and says that it should work against Barrow, which makes sense because it's a glass sword and he's throwing light around. I think we can all see where this is going. But apparently the Issei clan is a priestess family, and the Zanpakuto is inherited from one to the other. It is not a fighting sword, but a ceremonial one, but it can withstand the power of God because it disperses. And yeah, glass repels light, Barrow. Have fun with that. Barrow calls the sword unsightly. Nanao says that that's good, reflecting him. Goes over and says, like, yes, it's good that you call me the god. I'll take that. Dude, she just called you ugly, you dum-dum, and you wouldn't. Yeah, that's right. Nanao notices that Shunsui, or rather, she had noticed Shunsui for the first time. We're flashing back to when she joined the court guard squads. She noticed him at first for the hairpin. She also recognized his kimono, but that was fairly common. That hairpin was dad gave away is the exact same one her mother had. She had been raised by relatives who treated her well, but she wasn't able to make her own Zanpakuto while she was training to be a Soul Reaper. But she was very skilled with Keto, so she wanted to join the Keto Corps. But that's not what happened. She was instead assigned to Squad 8, because Shinsui was. He wasn't wearing the kimono and the hairpin when she joined the squad, and that's how she knew immediately that it was him. We cut to Baro being hit by his own attack, but it's not quite lethal. And he chides Nanao for not killing him because I would never let my guard down twice. Buddy, you've let your guard down several times in the fight. Nanao's mother was executed apparently for misplacing the Zanpakuto, and God, poor Shun's going through that. That was ow. He can't bear to lose Nanao, and he wields the sword from behind her in imagery that kind of reminds me of the father-son Kamehameha from Dragon Ball, but in a very similar familial helping through the attack. And yeah, Baro accused Shinsui of hiding behind his lieutenant and just like completely missing what's going on. Shinsui tells him now not to worry, he's got her back, and this sequence is done perfectly. Baro's attack is again reflected back, and he is very badly damaged by it. A good chunk of him getting cut off, and finally, for real, he's actually killed this time. While he's saying that it's very sinful as he's dying, of course, I say. Shinsui wants to catch up with the others, but his body says no. Kind of collapses out on him. And that is episode 37.
I also was very reminded of the father-son coming out.
Oh, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me, because that was like immediately I'm looking like, oh gosh, this feels very familiar.
It can reflect the power of God, but can it reflect the power of God and anime?
Apparently, yes.
Yes, apparently, yes. Yes, it can. She's his niece.
Yeah,
Huh.
I didn't pick up on this until this point, and I had forgotten about it. And like I said, as a newly minted uncle, it hit me right upside the face. Like, oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stirring. And how she pieces together that she knew him.
Oh,
Oh,
it's really smart.
I also love his introduction to his squad. Is like, the women here have my respects. The men, the jury's out.
That was great. That is so on brand for him.
It really is. I liked Alejandro Saab as young Shinsui. Don't know why they didn't just use him in the other flashback. But whatever. Whatever. It's good. It's good episode. Man,
Yeah.
Baro is just it's so
Self-righteous.
once he get the bird head and he starts like tweaking his head around, it's
Oh
like,
gosh.
how very sinful. Oh man.
Gosh.
So
Yeah,
when his
Oh,
head goes
that-
so
that-
far up his ass, it's unreal.
It
Yeah.
really is. And I think my brain separated him from himself because the second form looks different and he also acts a little.
Honestly, that's fair. That's fair.
That's my only defense for how I forgot about this.
Shinsui speaking for the audience. Oh, come on.
Come, give me a break.
I'm
It's
dying
totally-
here and he's still there.
When he said that, I immediately thought of poor Kuro. I'm just like, yeah, you're not just speaking for yourself. I do hope she
Yeah.
enjoyed this one. I sure got a kick out.
We'll have to ask her another time.
Indeed. But guess Paul, what did you think of this?
Yeah, Paul.
I find it hilarious that this dude's walking around, this Quincy's walking around being like, I am God, basically. He's not.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying. And this Zanpakuto basically just is like, no, you're done. Like,
It's in
It's
fact
like-
the perfect Zanpakuto for dealing with him.
It really is.
so I mean, I found that hilarious. Our new head captain is not doing well. Oh my god, like Jesus, dude, like can we just put you in the hyperbolic time chamber, or not the hyperbolic chamber, but
The
like
healing
sand
pod.
The healing pods.
healing
Yeah,
chamber?
swap him out for a Kenpachi. It'll be fine.
Get in the pod.
Get in the pod now.
Get in the pod, eat the
So-
bugs.
So yeah, I mean, I would. I think he really needs it, especially since he's the head captain. You know, like maybe just saying for a minute, just saying, maybe you're important enough that you need to go into that healing pod. So just my 2 cents. Yeah, so let me just say this, and Kuro, I wish Kuro was here for me to say this too, because she would probably agree with me. I'm so grateful that these guys can finally be killed off. It's like, finally,
that.
holy shit. Like, every time somebody tries to attack one of these Quincy's, it's like, no, 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 I got more power. No, 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 I got more power. No, no, more power. And it's like, okay, this is getting really annoying. And then finally, one of these assholes die. I'm like, okay, now you got me back. Let's go. But don't kill off the
We're
head
still
cap.
back.
Oh no, he's
So-
fine.
No, we can't
Oh,
kill
I have a
Shinsuke.
feeling
He's
he's
the
not gonna die, but-
best.
We
But
already
it
killed
is
off
it
the
is
head
funny.
captain. We're not going to kill off him.
It is funny to me that as they're beating these, as they're finally beating these Quincy's, it's like, how much blood did you just leave on the battlefield?
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
Here's a flesh wound. Your
it's
bloody
just a flesh
arms off.
wound. My God! And I'm like, holy shit! Like
No, it's
the
not.
head captain's got like 5 holes in him. I'm like,
I'll have your
Dude.
leg.
You're loony.
oh, so yeah. I mean, love it. Just love this part. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say about this episode. The next episode I'll have more to say about.
Okay. So Steven, what do you think of it?
It's fun. I mean, how it's touching in what they can do with animation. It's fun. I lost most of the story because it's not like I'm not paying attention to it. I'm live tweeting it, but it's like I lost most of the story of, like, I don't know. The guy's shot like about, a couple times, and he's like, he's still living. I'm like, you can't kill these. You can't kill, these invaders, but you can't also kill the Soul Society. They're like cockroaches, man. They just keep coming back. But it is fun and interesting how they kind of write it. It's almost like a JoJo thing, how they write these villains so powerful, so they have to like do almost gymnastics, like mental gymnastics, to kind of figure out ways to kill them and destroy them. So it is fun that way to see how they can take these guys down, but adding the human element into it and seeing the background of these characters is fun. Fun and touching to see, because I mean, I wasn't in tears or anything like that, but it was like, okay, I can see now why these ones wanted to protect them, right? I can see why they wanted to go out and do this and become that to protect these other people that they hold dear in their hearts. And so I can see why they wanted to expand and tell those stories. Because even if they did tell them beforehand, the newer audience that might have not have watched those, or it's been so long ago, right? That they wanted to go on and say retell it in a way of like a more touching and heartwarming moment, but also saying, to them, like, yeah, but the stakes are so high now that they have to do this, right? There are other stakes than just them at the center of it. This is that core. They all have to do something. There's some sacrifice has to be given for that. Yeah, and I really like the title sequences. The titles that pop
Oh
up.
yeah.
Those are fun. Those are just fun to read and look at and see how if they put it into the actual like show, or if they just like do one frame, like what was the last one was Friend, and that was
Yep.
just how they did that. But then the other one beforehand was like lengthwise how they wrote it, but then at the center of it were the two characters of in the O's and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's really fun how they do that and play with the environment to actually put the titles, because the titles actually mean something. They're not just some throwaway thing. They actually mean what the episode is about, which is like really cool.
Oh yeah. No, the titles work really well on this. And also, yeah, the connection between Nanao and Shunroku, that was not known before that. So it was a pretty big revelation for everybody who went through here the first time. For a lot of people, it would have been in the manga, but for me and several other people, it was the first time it aired, and now and I forgot, so I got it double dose.
Mm.
All right, does anyone else have any fun closing thoughts on this episode before I go into the next?
Got anything, Colt?
I mean, I like the whole backstory with Sinsui and all that. I just feel like that whole ending with Lily Bar was anticlimactic as fuck. Because it's like, okay,
It's like,
you,
oh shit, that
you're
actually worked. All right, I'm dying
Yeah.
now.
yeah, it's I attack using light, and I'm holding a mirror. I'm still going to attack. Oh shit, I'm dead. It's like, why didn't we just end it after the Bankai? Why did we do this? Why does he turn into a huge douchebag version of Octavius from fucking Hell of a Boss? It's like, what was the point of all of this? All right, he's dead. Whatever, fine.
The entire point of this fight, like, as I was looking, I actually did think of that too for a minute. And the way I look at it, the entire point was the connection between Shinsui and Nanao. The entire point of putting Lil Baro was, yes, you're right. Lil Baro was done. Lil Baro is a non-entity in this fight, even though he's there. All he does is just be obnoxious, and that's good enough. It's,
I guess, but
it's giving Nanao and Shinsui their moment, and specifically giving Nanao, who up to this point hasn't done a lot other than just run around and lecture.
Yeah.
She really got her moment here, and I think that's why this.
I guess I just wish they would have done it not using, or at the very least, I wish it would have been a not as ass fucked anticlimactic ending, but whatever.
Kubo could have come up with a better use of Nanao.
Yes,
Sure, I can't argue that.
But on the other hand, if like her most contribution in this arc had been the time that she held Hashwath with Kido, that would have been, I mean, cool, but still pretty.
Yeah,
nothing.
It is nice that she got a good moment. It could always be better for sure. Honestly, Lil Bar was done in by his own pride and arrogance. I thought it was
That's
fine.
the whole point. Who's sinful now, Lil Baro?
Lil Bar was just like, I won't drop my guard again, and he dropped his guard again.
Yeah. You know what his whole spiel about them being sinners reminds me of?
Who does it remind you?
Beetlejuice in ReZero.
Yes.
How very sinful.
You a believer?
I will say the
Yeah.
VA does do Lily Barrow right, though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Incredibly hateable character, done incredibly well.
I actually thought it was maybe a different actor when he took on that final form, but I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. There's some voice modification, but still, he was belting a lot of those
Oh,
lines.
yeah.
Really,
No, those were fantastic.
really, really good. Really good. Okay, let's move
I guess
on
I should
to
move on.
Friend.
I may have forgotten this last episode, but I did not forget this episode. Left a very strong impression on me, both when I saw it ran and
Here's the
so
backstory of a couple of Quincy's that you didn't ask for the backstories of.
you didn't ask for the backstory of, but oh boy, get ready for some feels because you're gonna get hit with them. So we're in the past, in the Quincy Kingdom. Young Hashwolf is struggling with his Quincy powers. The young Baz B, who doesn't want to introduce himself first, but does so anyway because he's kind of dumb, calls him pathetic. And by kind of dumb, who are you to ask Baz B who would come first? You just introduced yourself. Oh, okay. Hashwolf in the present asks Baz B what he's doing. Baz B says that just kind of why he's still alive, and then he attacks. Hashwolf recognizes Baz B's injuries that are not from the enemy, but rather from Iwabaha's Ashvalen, and Baz B says everyone below was hit by it. Hashwolf is unaffected emotionally, but says that he supposes that they weren't chosen. But you wouldn't believe me if I said I didn't know, would you? Bazby accuses him of already knowing about it, and yeah, that's basically all but confirmed. Yeah, no, Hashwolf. Bazby does say he's they go way back though, so if he did tell him, he'd believe him. Apparently, when Iwabaha sleeps, Hashwolf and he switch their powers, and Baz wants to kill Hashwolf during this time, and Hashwolf calls him a traitor. Or rather, all the way around, sorry. I can read, I swear. Baz calls him a traitor, and we are flashed back to Bazby's home being ablaze in Quincy blue fire. They fight before we flash back again. There's going to be a lot of back and forth here. Kid Baz says that Hashwolf is very clever to make him introduce himself first. And Hashwolf's like, yeah, no, you told me all on your own. You're getting a lot of Bazby ego is on heavy display throughout this flashback. But there's also more to him than just. Bazby says that he's going to look out for Hashwolf because he's having so much trouble using his Quincy powers. To the point where he even goes so far as to tell Hashwolf not to badmouth him. Even if I do it, you shouldn't do it to yourself. I almost like Bazby for that. That is kind of a cute thing for a kid. He's got a huge ego, and he calls him Yugo, Ugram. And of course, Hashwolf doesn't like that, but Bazby keeps doing it anyway. Hashwolf has to catch a rabbit before going home to his uncle. His parents are both dead, and his uncle mistreats him. Bazby just gives him the rabbit that he hunted down, because he's not hunting to kill him, he's hunting to show off. So here, take this rabbit. Very sweet in its own precocious little way. You've got this mixture of a personality in Bazby between being very prideful and, superiority complex, but also, being willing to help out. It's a really interesting mix. Back in the present, Bazby says the castle used to be called Silvern. Hashwolf insists that they fight outside to protect the castle. Bazby doesn't give a shit about that and attacks anyway. We flash back to Baz's home in flames. Iwabaha's men massacred everyone inside. Baz survived by hiding. But he sees Iwabaha, whose eyes are moving around. Pretty sure Iwabaha sees him, but doesn't seem to do anything about it. Bazby wants his revenge. Iwabaha controlled the Northern Territory, and not all Quincy's were united at that time, and there was a bit of a conquest. Hoshwalt's uncle died in that same attack, but otherwise he wasn't overly interested in revenge, but Basby did kind of hold him along, say, well, your uncle died too, we should go for revenge. And Hoshwalt doesn't say no. So they, and by they I mean Baz, decides that they're going to infiltrate Iwabaha's army. But Baz does tell Hoshwalt that he will help him improve. Iwabaha, having conquered the living world, forms a Sternritter, take the Soul Society. It's been going back for quite some time. I mean, we already knew that, but it's interesting to see the formation. Baz and Hoshwalt trained together for 5 years. Hoshwalt still couldn't collect ratio. Quincy's like him are not unheard of, apparently, but they're rare and they're usually called out because of how weak they are. But Basby recognized Hoshwalt's effort. He put in all the effort into his sword fighting, and he respected Hoshwalt. He wondered how Hoshwalt would feel about him if he knew that he felt that way. Baz cockily challenges an officer who's trying to tell people to join the or that they're recruiting for the brain which it worked for the Sternritter. Wow, I don't know why my brain wanted to lose that one. And so Baz like, yeah, me. Guy's like, no, go train, kid. So he does that. Baz decides to attack him, but he is pushed to the ground by Iwabaha's presence. Iwabaha came for Hoshwalt. He is my other half. Baz cannot believe it. Hoshwalt is taken in as Iwabaha's advisor, which is what Baz and Hoshwalt had wanted. Well, more Baz than was kind of going along with it. But it was supposed to have been, if only one of them was supposed to have been Baz. It's not. It was supposed to be me! He's mad that it's not him. And he's very upset. Does upset Hoshwalt. Doesn't understand why isn't my friend Baz happy for me? Hoshwalt says to Iwabaha that he's making a mistake. The one that you want is over there. And he tries to tell him to Baz. But Iwabaha said that he foresaw this, and that Hoshwalt is unaware of his power. The power to amplify the power of other Quincy. Iwabaha calls out to Basby, thinking that his powers, telling him that he's like, hey, you thought your powers grew on your own, but no, it's you around Hoshwalt. You are basically nothing without him. Basby gets pissed off and attacks Iwabaha, but Hoshwalt, it grabs the Quincy attack mid-air to protect Iwabaha. Back in the present, Baz is losing the fight. We get a comment from Hoshwalt that this fight doesn't benefit His Majesty, and yeah, Basby doesn't care if it benefits His Majesty at all. So it seems that Baz had tried to fight Hoshwalt before in the past. We see in early days of Sternritter, and he always just kind of ignored him and turned him down. Rules for to fight each other within the Sternritter. The same recruitment officer that Baz had challenged previously is like, yeah, I'm gonna beat sense into you, boy. Hoshwalt doesn't like that. Tells him no, can't do that. Well, what this Majesty doesn't know won't matter. But I'll see it and I'll know. So no. Tells us a lot about Hoshwalt. That was 3 years after Hoshwalt had joined and at some point become the commander of the since then, Hoshwalt had refused to fight Baz. Basby is very upset. Despite his best effort, Hoshwalt deals Basby a lethal blow. Basby admits defeat. Surprising. Doesn't feel so bad about losing. Right before he dies. And that's where the episode ends. Ow. Ow for both of them. Different reasons.
like young Basby being like that bully kid in the neighborhood who looks out for the younger, meeker kids.
I love that about him too. I think it informs a lot about who he was and kind of still is, or was.
Maybe I shouldn't say bully. I mean, he is a bit of a bully, but
He
really
is
more
a
like
bit
a
of a
big
bully.
brother.
He's the egotist who wants to be grand, but wants to be grand in a way where he does the right thing anyway. It's an interesting
Right.
combination. You don't see it as often. When you see it, it stands out.
Mm-hmm. Also, never has there been a guy who's been more pick me.
Oh God. Oh Baz. Baz, you really want to be picked that bad.
It should have been me!
It should have been me. I had that running in my head while I was writing those notes. I'm like, I have to say that. Have to quote it.
Of course.
Oh, bad.
Of course.
Really had it bad.
Hey, Mom Ramayasha's in the chat.
Hey, how's it going?
He says he would have liked the flashback better if they had better set up Basby wanting revenge on Yuabaha for murdering his family and resented
That
Hushwell
is
for
fair.
betraying him beforehand. There
It
really
really
wasn't any
was a-
indication that Basby wasn't fully on board with the Stern Ritters' cause against Soul Society and had any real tensions with Yuabaha and Hashvoth until Yuabaha sacrificed all the Stern Ritters.
Yep.
Soul
No,
Society.
I would agree.
I feel the same way because my opinion is there was never any major emphasis on these characters. Ergo, I feel like we wasted an entire episode for people that were mostly just straight villains.
I
Yeah.
think it was important for Hashwolf. Basby's not that important.
I
But
can see it being
Hashwolf's
more
a major antagonist.
Yeah, I can see that, but from what at least my feelings on the character so far, it's just like he stands in the background, acts imposing, hasn't really done much. So it's nice to maybe get like that little bit, but it also feels like, do we really need it in the greater content? Kind of feel like we just wasted an episode explaining the backstory of two people that need less than like an hour of full screen time or something. That's me.
Yeah.
I get that. There's still much to come, so maybe there's more payoff to come on this. But even if there isn't, he's at the very least, he's the top actual number 2 to Iwabaha. We have some idea of why he's so unquestionably loyal, and that I found was.
Mm-hmm. Also, Basby should be expecting a cease and desist order from Domon Kashu's lawyer. Like you were on the edge before, boy, but once you did what you did in this episode,
Yeah,
it's called an homage. It's called an homage.
That's an infringement.
He's also
infringing on that one guy's hair from Cromartie High School. I can never not see it.
Now I can't unsee it.
Yeah, there really was. Like there was some tension between Hushvaltz and Basby before, but it always seemed like more of a like I'm annoyed at you because you're above me in the food chain.
It was more of a ranking
thing in
Basby's ego.
Yeah, but to realize that he's been trying to kill Yuabaha all this time,
that
makes you think that maybe somebody else in the Stern Ritters might be thinking similar.
I imagine more than a few at this point. I mean,
well,
it does not look like this was a unique thing. He went out and conquered the other Quincy. I guarantee
no, man,
he's not the only one.
Basby's family went through the Blue Night.
Oh my god.
Pretty much.
Had to say it.
No, that's fair. It's fair.
Understandable that he's very upset. Meanwhile, actually, very understandable that Hushvaltz is like, "Oh, you killed my abusive uncle? Cool."
Yeah.
Thanks for the solid, Yuabaha.
I understand where Bazby's coming from, because from Bazby's perspective, Hoshwolf was his number 2. He had a lot of loyalty to Hashwolf, but he also wasn't really giving Hashwolf any say in what was going on. And they even made a point of Hashwolf going, "Why aren't you happy for me that I've been picked?" Hashwolf didn't really have any of those going.
Yeah, a friend should be happy for a friend who's succeeding. But no, egotistical. put Bazby in Blue Lock.
Maybe he got reincarnated.
Yeah. I mean, if we watch Blue Lock long enough, we'll probably see enough like Bazby.
Hey, look, maybe Bazby was just meant to play soccer.
Maybe so. I'm sure Paul has things to say.
Oh yes, and from what I remember earlier, I think you definitely have some strong thoughts.
Yeah, I kind of felt like this was like a pointless episode, but I'm gonna call him Gesundheit because that's what his name sounds like. Um, I still don't know what his powers are, and I know he's supposed to be able to push power onto Quincy's,
You can actually,
but
so he
From
basically
what it sounded like to
amplifies
me,
their
he was
power.
basically a passive battery. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly right.
so, but it didn't. What didn't make any sense to me is you never saw him actually like fight. So
Why would you wouldn't put him in a fighting position? He's not a fighter. He's the
well,
he
right,
makes
but then
other
he
fighters
fights.
stronger. Well, now he's fighting because he has to. Yes.
Well, right, but he's fighting Busby, and he's like, it's like, okay, so now you're fighting, but all I'm seeing you do is use your sword. So I'm just like, okay,
Well, we saw
I'm
him
confused.
train for that. That is
Mhm.
totally what he's doing.
He's been training for a long time.
True, but he's basically reflecting Quincy powers too. So my question, maybe you can answer this laser for me, because I was thinking about this as we were talking about the episode. Does he at this point, because as we'll find out later, there's a reason for what he's doing, but does he have Yuabaha's powers now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I wanted to
They're-
make
they're-
sure because
He's about to, and Bazby even comments on it. That's why Bazby challenged him. He wanted to kill him once he got them. That was the idea.
yeah, so that's another thing that was like weird to me, because and that's why I was like, I'm so confused, because it's like Hauswaltz is like, yeah, I'm with you, I'm gonna do this, blah 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 blah. And the minute that he realizes that he actually might have some kind of power, it does seem like it kind of switches a little bit, but it's never explicitly said
Well, he never
that
he like
Go
I
ahead.
said earlier. He was just kind of dragged along. He was never like all in on what Bazby wanted to do. He was just doing. He was passive.
Okay.
He was doing what he was told to do, but he wasn't really thinking about it. He wasn't like actively choosing anything on his own.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, because I was really confused by that, because it seemed like he was with him, but then he's not. So,
Well, that's because Baz thought he was with it.
but here's the other thing: like throughout this season, it has seemed like Hashwal had an automotive, especially when oh god, I'm losing my mind. What's his name came into the picture, because it was like he was number 2 now, and Hashwal
Uryu.
wasn't anymore. Uryu, yeah. Wow, it's
Uryu
getting
was
like,
the next up. Yes.
Yes. So it almost felt like he was kind of like, I'm about to like lose this, so maybe I'm gonna do something. So when they started talking about this, I was like, oh, this is making more sense now. Maybe this is what's gonna happen. And then he kills his friend, and I'm like, okay, now I'm even more confused. So it's like, are you gonna go through with this plan and maybe take his powers, and then now you're in control, or
No,
so
I think he was always
it's
just
kind of
loyal
confusing.
to. Not really.
I mean, maybe the manga explains it better. Maybe that's what
I
I'm
mean,
missing here, but
I haven't read the manga, so I couldn't tell you.
no. Okay. Well, by the
What
way, go
I
ahead.
just saw it before you. That's all. That's literally the only advance I have on you is that I watched it when it came out. Damn it.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. I just it was a weird episode for me, and I'm just like, huh. Okay. By the way, to G Gundam, this hand of mine is glowing with an awesome. Oh, there goes my hand. Oh wait, I have another one. I was thinking about that while you were saying it. I'm like, that's so hilarious. Um, but I kind of felt bad for Bugsby. I really did, because I was just like,
Well, yeah,
oh my god.
he was had an abusive home situation.
Yeah.
He had his only friend was jealous of him the second he got anything. He got drugged around. He was, and now the only one who's ever to his face told him he was worth anything was Iwabaha. We know that Bazby was impressed by him, but he didn't tell him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean it got to a point where maybe he should have just said to him, "Hey,
Shoulda.
you're my
D-
friend. I support
Shoulda,
you,"
coulda,
instead of getting really jealous and
Shoulda.
being
Didn't.
stupid. Though I will say the one thing that, now that I'm thinking about it, that does confuse me even more too, is how they allowed him into the Stern Ritters,
Oh, Iwabaha wasn't
knowing
worried about him.
knowing full well that, yeah, knowing full well that he was trying to kill him. Though I mean, obviously Yuabaha could see the future, so that makes sense, I guess. But it's like, why would you still
Iwabaha
let him?
let him live when he was killing his family. I think
Right.
Iwabaha already knew he was no threat.
I think Yuabaha knew he could use him at some point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy, did they use all those Quincy's? Oh my god.
Oh yes.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, well, Steven, what did you think about those?
Um, it was. It's weird to have a touching episode about two villains. How you're
It is. It is weird. I will grant you that.
It's like, do we have to feel for these people when they committed all these bad acts of whatever they
I'm
did?
reminded of every time they try to justify the demon's existence in Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
Ah. Mm,
it's like,
similar.
okay, sure. I mean, yes, they were humans or whatever they are, and maybe they all got swept up into it, but they didn't have to go as far as they wanted to. Seems like they just wanted to prove themselves and have power and unchecked power. Um, and then you have like them growing up, which is a kind of cool thing to see how they grow up, because you don't get to see that, right? You don't get to see that in past episodes of Bleach. You don't know who these people are. You only know like a few of them from like the past episodes. It's like how these two people grew up, and so that is a fun, it is interesting way of telling the story that way, and seeing two opposite ends of of the spectrum. Now one just wants to follow his course because he believes he's doing right because he is now technically the chosen one, and the other one wants to show up the chosen one because he wants to really be the chosen one. It's like one of you, it's not going to, it's not going to end well. And the title in that is Friend, and it did not end well with one of those friends.
No, it did not.
I do like it. The title thing, like I said before, Friend had the end in red, and it was like, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
hit me. It
Yeah.
absolutely hit me.
Yeah, it's fun to see that. But should I really care about these two people? One, he's the blonde haired dude is already like basically cast aside anyway because Yuabar picked the other one to lead his lead his army thing, and so he's already cast aside, so he's already feeling the hurt and everything, so he has nowhere to go. Basby is like, I don't care anymore. I should have died. I guess he figured he should have died in the big uh, the big attack that like killed all the other Quincy's, and it's like okay, that's the whole thing. It's like, okay, you're fighting because you're fighting for you know what now? What are you fighting for? Because they're both technically on the outs of Yuhabaha.
What am I
you know.
fighting for?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
this podcast is Mega Man-rific.
yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like, what are you fighting for? None of you are actually fighting for anything to do any of that stuff. I mean, they're not going to get ahead of any of it. They're going to still have to fight everyone else in it. What are they going to do? Restart the whole, world? I mean, Basby, out of all of them, probably had the best chance at a redemption arc. You got those three, what is it? The other two that went with him, the girls and the one guy girl. I guess he was like I know dresses like a girl. And he's
Gigi.
like not yeah, and they're all like I'm sorry for my ignorance on all that, but he's
It
all
was Big Mouth and Gigi, and apparently like all the Bambi crew is still there
yeah.
as zombies.
Yeah, and they're zombies, and they're like that. Sure, those ones, got a chance of redemption. I don't know about that, but Basby looks to be the one that would have the best chance of redemption out of like all of the Quincy's that can go back to maybe some type of normal life or maybe something. But aside from that, it's like there's nothing for them to gain out of this episode. And not to be like harsh on it, I don't know the manga, so I don't know if it plays out the same way, but it feels like an empty or hollow episode that they had to create to show that there is some empathetic nature to these people and they weren't just there for doing bad stuff. They were wound up into this stuff because they wanted to kill Yuhabaha. And it's like, you didn't do it before. Yuhabaha has got about 5 eyes in his socket and he's like looking all around. He knows what you're gonna do. So, if this dude can see the past, present, and future, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't seem like this episode was needed, but I mean, I get what they're trying to do with it and humanize it, but I don't know. Like I said, for me personally, I lost the story about like maybe 10 episodes ago, and I don't know where it's going, but I do like the fighting. The fighting's cool. I mean, as a guy who likes action stuff, the fighting's cool. The rest of it, the story and everything, this was kind of like not really needed, but it was kind of cool seeing them grow up. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that whole episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I don't mind getting some backstory on these guys, but it does kind of feel like, do we need it? But
Well,
yeah,
if
we
nothing else,
That's
we
what I
kind
was
of
feeling.
do. We
If
kind of
nothing
do
else, it was
need
a
it.
break in the moment. We've had nothing but hardcore fights, which I know is one of Kuro's complaints. Is that this is
That's
a
true.
break in that.
And in fact, we got two episodes back to back with flashbacks and backstory. And
Mm-hmm. I've known these were coming for
Yeah.
some time. And I'm like,
Yeah, but to your point, Sketch, like the backstory in episode 37 was a lot better than this backstory, just because it was
oh
like,
yeah,
I
for
want
sure.
well, yes, very much
know,
so.
also it was really touching in episode 37, like
hmm
that relationship, and it also gave a new um it gave a new meaning to why the new the new headmaster, I'm just gonna call him that at this point,
Headmaster.
Headmaster. This
headmaster.
The
this
Soul
isn't
Society
Mashal.
school. You mean the head captain, sir?
Head captain, that's
Head-
what I meant. I'm tired, okay? Shut up. Um it gave a reason why he was wearing what he was wearing throughout the original Bleach series and even now. It made sense because there was a meaning behind what he was wearing. And it just gave more, I'm trying to think of the word, but it gave more context, I guess, to who he was, and it made me like him even more as a character. This episode just was like, okay, I didn't know that this was a relationship, but okay, maybe this really wasn't needed. So
yeah, I don't mind having context, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't like it was interesting to see these two characters very young, and also kind of the initial formation of the Stern Ritters, which, by the way, a whole lot of imagery that was not allusions to anything, I'm sure.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But yeah, it's just the problem is just this doesn't, it just feels like it came out of nowhere. Like, oh,
You're
okay,
not
so
That
given
is
enough
fair.
of a reason to
Exactly.
care about these guys.
Those I think are both fair points. I don't think this episode is pointless. I think interesting and useful. It breaks the action, but is it set up well? Oh no, it absolutely.
no, it's
No.
not. Yeah,
no.
no.
That
not
I
at
will
all.
absolutely agree with you guys. Not well
That
set
said,
up.
Bazard Black is a great name.
Bastard Black is a fantastic.
You Bazard. And when Hushfeld says his whole name, oh, getting serious now. And I also liked that Bazby was kind of like a little bit choony as a kid. It's like, I'm the
It's kinda great.
great Bazby. Look at me in my armor. My stupid little kid. Yeah. You can kind of see where Ugroom would kind of fall into place in this, but boy, he was real quick to flipping to I will now devote my entire life to this man. My best friend just tried to kill him, but I'm gonna stop it because this is my new best friend. What's the meme? No longer friends with Bazby.
Well, it's
Now
also
you
like,
Vaha's my best friend now.
Yeah.
it's really weird because and stop me, please, Laser, if I miss this anytime, please make sure that I know where this was, because maybe I did miss this, but especially having this episode and there wasn't any past context that they were friends.
There was.
It was There wasn't? Okay, I just wanted to make sure because
No,
I'm like
no, you're
I was thinking
Yeah,
about that. And I'm like,
there was
No,
no
there really isn't.
there was a tension between them, but it seemed like just, you know,
That was as
people
close to
working in the
foreshadowing
same
God, there was tension.
organization and not getting along. Yeah.
right.
It's
Yeah,
clear
so
to me in
that's
retrospect it was trying to hint at it, but it was too vague.
Yeah.
yeah, I think if they had put more hints that this was what it was in the series, then it would have
Mhm.
had more meaning this episode. But just to throw it in was kind of like,
I think the
okay,
easiest thing that they could have done, if I'm gonna look at it, if the easiest, best way they could have done that between the two attacks from the Stern Ritter, just have Basby challenge Hashwolf and Hashwolf be like, no.
Yeah.
That would have set it up perfectly. I don't think you'd need a lot more than that. I think that would have been an acceptable. Why is he challenging? I mean, it could still have been read as, oh, he's just mad because we've already seen that he's, he doesn't like him. But when you get to it, it's like, oh, there's a whole story behind these. I think that would probably be what you guys are looking for, and I think that's completely fair to be critical of it not doing something.
The one detail I recall between Basby and Hashvalt was when Uryu was appointed, and he's like, "Are you okay with this, Hashvalt?" And he's like, "Whatever His Majesty wants." And he's like, "How dare you!" It's like, you can't be okay with it.
Which,
Yeah.
again, kind of fits retrospectively. It's like, oh, yeah, he's calling him out for being passive again. But
Mhm.
Ashwolf has been.
Yeah.
But, again, that's makes sense retrospectively, not ahead of
Yeah.
time.
And seeing Hashvalt's interaction with that Stern Ritter does contextualize some of his other actions. He's just a real stern Ritter,
Ah,
as it were.
good there.
He's very, very by the book, very teacher's pet.
yeah, and that was the other thing too is Hausfeld wasn't really he was there, but it wasn't he wasn't doing a lot. He was just like, okay, I'm the number two. Listen to me, or I'll beat
We
your ass,
don't really
which is
get
fine.
we don't really get to see what he accomplished, other than
Right.
we know he was probably put in charge like immediately.
Right. So it's I didn't mind that, but I would have kind of liked to have a little bit more context throughout of why he was the number two. And then it would have also made sense when Uryu came into the picture why he's like, well, wait a minute. Or at least it seemed like he was like, wait a minute, why is he number two now and I'm pushed to the side? You know what I mean? I think that would have been a little bit better, just because then that would have given even more context to it. So
Mhm.
again, it's retro.
Now,
It's maybe
I
just our
would
perspective, but it is.
I
That's
would
what
blame
seems
a
like to me.
lot of this on the rush state of the manga, except they have gone into extreme pains to flush out the anime adaptation. This feels like something that they coulda, woulda, shoulda fleshed out more for the anime, and it's a rare case where they didn't. Because everything I've been told from everyone who's read the manga beforehand, I haven't. I've heard tale, but I haven't actually read the manga. They've really gone out of their way to really improve and patch up a lot of the issues like this in the anime, but clearly in this case they didn't.
Yeah, it definitely does show. I mean, it doesn't show in every single episode of the series, but in this kind of case, it's like, okay, this is something you should have probably corrected. So,
Hmm. Well, before we wrap up, any additional thoughts, anyone?
Well, there's one more episode left.
Two.
Two more episodes left? Okay, yeah, maybe I'm missing something. Yeah. I'm forgetting a different
Yeah,
episode.
you
Yeah,
definitely
very
are missing something.
peculiarly, the season was 14 episodes.
Oh, that's right.
So
yeah,
we
yeah,
end
yeah,
on
okay.
episode 40.
Yeah. So 2
Yeah.
episodes left, I should say.
Yes.
But one conversation left until we stop talking about Bleach for I don't know how long.
Well,
However long
the
Netflix deigns to not let us have it.
You mean Hulu?
July, it'll be hitting. Yeah, it'll be hitting Hulu in July. So
I mean, maybe what's gonna happen is what's happening with Rooster Fighter. Not so much Toonami playing
I don't
it
think
first.
we'll get it right
but
away.
Yeah, no, I don't think well, Toonami tends to not want to get things freshly dubbed right away just because of what
They're more
has happened
expensive.
in the past. And it's more expensive. But there again, there could be something where maybe a couple episodes in, Toonami starts to get it and they can air it on.
I don't think
They're
that's
still
it
definitely
either.
afraid of another loop of gentle criminal episodes of My Hero Academia.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yes.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, I
Yep.
remember. I was there.
Yeah.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Private Farm remembers.
Of course Petridge Farm remembers everything. Petridge Farm is a surveillance state.
So it's part of Palantir.
Yeah. And it's weird to think that we're almost done talking about Bleach for a while. It's been a constant present for most of a year.
It's been really nice having it back. I've loved Bleach since it was on Adult Swim Action, and I was really happy when it came back to Hulu, and I was even more happy when it came back on Toonami because it's where it belongs.
It's true.
Well, not just Toonami, but Adult Swim in general too.
Well, yes, but Toonami's on Adult Swim, but yes, you're right because Bleach does have pedigree pre Toonami Adult Swim.
With all their weird 5 a.m. anime shenanigans, I wonder if they would maybe put Bleach on at 5 a.m. On weekdays. I mean, it's 40 episodes.
On weekdays, probably not. I'd see it maybe being at the back of the block for the normal block.
Well, I could definitely see them rerunning it, but
yeah,
in Toonami, I mean, but I mean, if they're throwing on Kai and Daima and Sailor Moon at 5 a.m. on weekdays, maybe they'll put Bleach on. Maybe they can't run that at 5:30.
I think they're just
That's
trying
pretty
to.
violent.
I think they're just trying to see what will stick. Honestly, not going to hurt them if they already have the license. So.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey,
it does
speaking
make
of
me...
5 a.m. on Saturday in Fight Girls, you know?
Yeah.
I don't understand why they always. I guess this is just modern TV, but I kind of hate it. Why are we always doing hour blocks of things when you could have 2 shows, 1 episode each?
Because they don't have any faith other shows are going to do good.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, but if you're doing that with something like Invincible Fight Girl, that's 5 weeks and you're done. But on weekdays, that means you run through Dragon Ball Daima in 2 weeks. Or you run through all your episodes of Sailor Moon, 46 episodes in like a month. It's...
Who knows what programming is thinking?
It's also... I mean, it's just kind of weird for them to do 2 episodes of a particular anime on weekdays of AM. But it's more interesting than the other things that they do. So whatever.
We don't ask
But yeah, I
questions.
don't.
Sketch.
I ask lots of questions. I don't think it's
That's
out of the.
questions.
I don't think it's out of the question that
That we
Bleach
don't
could
ask?
maybe could get that 5 a.m. time slot weekdays, maybe if they're allowed to rerun
would
it
be
at
neat.
all, which we don't know if they can with this contract, but I feel like they can. They just can't stream it. So if they can't stream it, it would be nice if they could rerun it.
It would be a great spot to have something on.
Yeah.
You know that reminds me. I haven't checked to see if Bleach is on the Adult Swim app anymore, which I'm looking for.
It hasn't
right
been.
now.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not on there. The what was it? The first when they first started playing it, there was like 1 or 2 episodes on there, and then they never were able to load it. So I'm wondering if maybe originally they were given permission. Hey, yeah, you could do this, and then they were like, no, you can't do this because of Hulu and whatever. So weird.
Yeah. It's uncharted territory for them because they almost, or in fact always up to this point, have gotten the streaming rights along with the TV rights, which makes things more expensive. So if they can get shows without the streaming rights, maybe they should do that more often. But then Paul can't keep up with the shows because he doesn't watch them live. Unless he has whatever streaming service they're on.
I mean, at this point, I have every streaming service because of the kids. So who knows? The only one I don't have is Amazon Prime, but I don't feel like I really need Amazon Prime.
But what about when that Ghost in the Shell anime comes out?
We're not going to talk
It's going to
about
be
that.
Amazon.
You know, just to
You gotta
piss,
give Vlord his money.
Just to piss Amazon off, they should play the original Ghost in the Shell at the same time.
Okay, that would be pretty funny.
I would be like, yeah, that's hilarious. Oh, by the way, you can only watch it on Adult Swim. There you go. Which is true.
Yeah.
Still blows my mind that they own that, but they somehow lost the rights to Cowboy Bebop. I don't understand, but whatever.
Well, that's
Different
because
license.
the rights of Cowboy Bebop switched hands. Though technically so did Get Sack, but like the Japanese ownership didn't change, and man, I don't know what's going on with Sunrise licensing. Other than I don't like what they've been doing with Gundam lately ever since Sony bought Right Stuff. I don't like it. I do not like it.
And yet they didn't buy the warehouse.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
They didn't buy the
what I
right
read, that was
warehouse.
that was not offered. They were offered the lease on it. Like the owner is the owner of Right Stuff, so
yeah. Huh. But,
and he's the one that's trying to sell that warehouse. Hilariously.
Okay. You can email us at podcast@toonamifaithful.com, facebook.com/Toonami Faithful Podcast, and on Twitter @Toonami Podcast. You can listen to the podcast on just about everything, including Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Podbay, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Radio.com, Spotify, and the TuneIn app. You can find every episode of the podcast to stream online at the same place they found the encrypted clinical trials on Lazarus, SoundCloud.com/Toonami Faithful Podcast. And get the latest news by following @ToonamiFaithful.com on Blue Sky and @Toonami News on Twitter. And read the news, views, and reviews on ToonamiFaithful.com. Steven, tell the folks where they can find you.
You can find me streaming. I've been streaming. Still not done with Hollow Knight. The game's long, man. aside from that, I'm on social media talking about stuff. I mean, you want to follow me, you can. It's MXA Ghost on like every single platform. Been trying to get into Blue Sky a little bit more. Trying to post on there. Just trying to figure out the vibe of everything, man. It's just all off everywhere, and it's like you're just trying to like figure something out just to survive. Otherwise, yeah, have a great day.
Laser, tell the folks where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at LaserPrime. Find me on Blue Sky at LaserKid. And you can find me on my podcast, Samuldub Saints, where we talk about Samuldub anime. With my co-host Archangel, who's been on here a couple times.
Yes, including the previous episode.
Indeed. And we've had some of you guys over there. Sketch has been on, Steven's been on.
And no doubt we shall be again.
Oh, yes. It's an open invite for anybody here, honestly.
Yes, yes. Colt, tell the folks where they can find you.
Twitter.com/ambientvirus. Same thing on Blue Sky. Twitch.tv/lifevirus. Going through the Sam and Max remasters from Skunk Ape. And waiting for the re-release of Pokemon the Inventory, because I am now very much excited for the hopefulness that we're going to re-get the Strong Bad games from them as well. Beyond
those are
that,
very good games.
I mean, I replayed them like about a month ago, and they're still just as fun.
Excellent.
Beyond that, I need to start probably at some point getting into Mutagenics and Winnie's Hole, because I want to try those games out too, and I bought them. That's it for me.
Paul, tell the folks where they can find you.
Well, hopefully not in a cold place anymore, because I'm getting sick and tired of these cold temperatures up here in New York. But you can find me on socials, on X, Twitter, whatever, at Paul Pascrillo, also on Blue Sky. And you can email me, paulpascrillo@toonamifaithful.com. And about it. Senor Sketch, where can they find you?
You can find Senor Sketch at Sketch 1984.
Yes.
Sketch 1984 on Twitter.
Where Sketch likes to spread the sketch.
And also on Blue Sky. I'm just gonna go straight into I messed it up. I'm just gonna go straight into Strong Bad. That's really more Napa. The cheat is grounded. There we go. That's the tick. That's it. The cheat is grounded. You gotta have blue hair.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think that means it's time to go.
It's definitely time to go. But you know what wordplay I missed out on earlier? This is welcome to my TED Talk. Welcome to my Ted Lasso talk. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for listening, whether you tuned in while we were recording or you were listening to the podcast after the fact. We always appreciate your listenership. We're here for you. So please listen, share the podcast with your friends if you think they would be interested. And until next time, don't go out on reconnaissance if you reek.
Buzzard Beam!